If he gets to the late game on this champion, he will be able to detonate even Renekton. He will be able to one-shot people.
Right.
Tristana just got buffed. She is incredibly powerful once she has completed her crit build. So you're looking basically at the completion of Infinity Edge and then 2 more crit items, usually Storm Razor and Rapid Fire Cannon, but you also see Static Shiv, like anything like that. Once you see 2 or 3 crit items complete, that Tristana does damage. Until that point, she does not do damage, which makes it devastating to play her in a dragon lane, especially into something like the Ziggs that can sit on the other side of the map and just poke away.
But of course, as we start to see Furious Gaming start to ramp up, skill up, starter will have that impact in game. We have late game scaling options on Nova Esports, but the response out here from the Tristana.
I will say, if Furious Gaming can get to the late game, that Tristana is really interesting. And if there's one thing that Furious Gaming do, it's have pretty good team fights.
Right.
So, Nova Esports, there is an angle where they could lose the late game team fight. This Tristana could come online and it could all be over. All too fast. I do think Nova Esports are going to play very fast during the early game. The second they see this Tristana on the map, especially with a Nami alongside it, the call should just be, that lane is so easy to gank. The call should just be, that lane is not going to be able to leave their turret for the first 5 minutes.
Especially with the Gragas, it makes it so easy to keep putting pressure on the bot side.
Absolutely. So, Nova Esports, I expect to show up early in the bottom and try to knock out the game there.
Well, it could be scrappy, it could be clean, but I'll tell you what, it is game number 1 between Furious Gaming and Nova Esports. Day 2 of the Icons Global Championship shaping up pretty hot, and well, look at this, an aggressive move. They're actually going to have pressure with the Tristana mid.
Okay.
So, exactly like you mentioned, it is their playstyle.
And this is something that Pressure has done before. He has played Tristana mid before, so this isn't the craziest thing in the world. We got baited a little bit by the champion select screen, but this is something he's done before. And this makes a little bit more sense into something like a Corki, because the Corki also takes a while to get going, and Pressure will have the support of Echo in lane to boost up.
So having that additional power, being able to get so much more done here, I mean, looking forward to the overall performance here from Pressure, and we start to see now some of the damage that able to be put out by Nova in the bot side.
Fun little side effect of that, of course, is that we have the Karma Nami lane.
Yep.
This is the we're going to help Pressure in 5 minutes lane. It's going to be pretty difficult to do damage to that lane. It can just sit. They can just sit on the other side of the map and poke away. But they're also not going to really be able to do anything once we get out of the first couple of minutes. Not going to be a whole lot of damage.
They will help Pressure a lot.
Yeah. If we get to team fights, Furious Gaming have a really interesting draft because you can drop. Oh wow, Yais is eating this lane. It's the second time he's full comboed Libra, and Libra's just been like, well, I guess I'll Haymaker the wave. I guess I'll get some free farm.
And a lot of this, I feel like as well, is the fact that Yiza is playing a staple kind of champion. You know, you could go for a more aggressive pickup, more aggressive option, but when you have the Renekton, you know it always provides a certain amount of safety in your lane.
Yiza is so good in these opening levels, right? This is prime Renekton territory. The set will get bigger if things don't go wrong in that top side. I want to see Long kind of impact these lanes. We talked about how difficult it should be to play this bottom lane under pressure. Here it is.
And Echo might be down here in the bot side as well. Yeah, I mean, trying to bait them out though, but not quite able to do it. Still holding steadfast.
Good
actually
bubble.
Starts to dash in. Remake will pull the attention over, but a beautiful flash over by Echo. Over the wall back to turret.
Here comes Pressure hunting for something. So much of this early game from Furious Gaming, it's like they're playing an assassin, right? Whenever you're playing with a Zed, you're like, okay, how do we get gold onto the Zed during the opening levels so that they can one-shot people in the late game? That's what they need to do with Pressure.
An awkward spot here as Pressure is going to start walking over. Long's going to spawn him out. He was clearing the control ward. The rest of his team able to respond. The wave crashing into the mid-side. Pressure losing a lot of golden EXP.
Ooh, how about Siva? I talked about how good he is as a support player. We're seeing it here.
Pressure, this is very interesting. Very well-timed use of the jump. Will manage to pull
Face
them
breaker!
away, and Furious Gaming roam into the mid lane and find first blood. First on the bot goes over to Furious Gaming, and a second pickup as Nova lose mid laner and support.
First blood to the WOL. Latam standing tall as they find 2 picks. Nova Esports, they started out as a very clean little invade, and then they just hung around here. When Long recommits, stays here longer, they're asking for trouble. And Trouble's name is Libra.
A huge phase breaker from Libra onto 3 members. That's the point. There we go. Those claps.
That's a coach right there.
Rapid clapping action. That's the way we do things. And yes, and it seems like now Libra in an awkward position against Isa, not able to get much more done, has now found this gold advantage. Will be able to reset, come back in with that Black Cleaver. A good spot for Furious Gaming to be in. This is exactly what they were hoping for. Anything to help accelerate pressure up.
I will flag pressure, not doing so great on the gold count.
Sure.
Did have to rotate around a lot, did have to lose some waves. You can see how much emphasis Nova are putting on keeping him from getting gold right now. And that's paying off. We were talking about this during the last series about how KDF weren't doing a very good job of restricting gold gain. This is a masterclass on how to do it from Nova. Even though they're like messing up and losing players, he's still behind because he's constantly being forced off of his wave. These minion waves are constantly dying to tower shots, which means that Furious Gaming don't get the gold from them, and Nova build up a significant lead. And
2 kills up, but no gold difference, and so we start to see where that comes from for those waves crashing in, from Prussia losing some gold in the mid lane. Well, first spawn coming up now.
First spawn coming up for these 2 dragons, and look at this shove from Furious Gaming, rotating pressure up the river, trying to find a kill and turn immediately onto this mountain drag.
And doing a good job to establish control here. Yami a little bit far behind.
Double ward on the mountain drag, so Nova don't need to check this. They know that it's not been started, and
but
instead
we
they
do have
can
the flank angle from Yen over by the back. Pressure coming in now, gets the bomb on first.
They're just trying to find an angle. This isn't about fighting for Nova. This is about finding a mistake that they can punish.
Dragon started up. Will allow it to reset.
It's just stretching its wings, Grandin.
Going for a stroll by the river.
Going for a flap by the river. Top lane all the while. He's just farming away.
Absolutely. Nien also able to escort the wave to the bot side. Now Dragon started up for Nova. The ward is there, but look what happens here. Stout defense from Yami.
And Furious just couldn't find a way to get into that whole mess. You saw them have controlled the river, but not be able to gain traction against Nova, who every time they turn to focus Nova, Nova would like drift away, pull back, refuse to engage them.
Stopping the resets from Echo gives them a little bit more space to play from.
Especially because Long did get a reset during that time. So he's going to leave the base, use that time to regain control around this Rift Herald, which is still on the map. And there's the possibility that Nova get both early objectives.
Sure looks like they are planning for that, TJ. Setting up some vision towards the top side now. Libra went on a bit of a journey to try and put that ward down, but now it's been cleared out. Nova set to establish control here.
So Storm Razor first item for this Tristana means that they're going to be very effective at using their third ability, the Bouncing Bomb. So they're going to go ahead and apply that to towers especially, and just be able to melt towers. That's how Pressure's hoping to gain gold.
Pressure and Echo making a dive towards the bottom end. The exhaust comes through, flash away
That's
from
huge.
Yen, but it's not going to be enough. It's taken down. Pressure with the kill credit.
They're gonna be able to get turret as well because he is demolished. So the second that wave crashes, that turret will just melt. This is the dream for Pressure. In the meantime, Rift Herald does get taken by Nova Esports, so Pressure abandons the bot lane far for a moment. The full team rotates into mid.
Trying to get the Transcendent Embrace to pull in Remake, looking for a catch.
And the teamfight dream is pretty good. Transcendent Embrace into Tidal Wave, double Enchanter spells set up for Pressure and Echo to just combo on the center of enemy players. Furious Gaming do need all 5 of their players there to execute that plan now. Here's the turret trade we were talking about.
Performing best when you have that full team effort.
Well, he doesn't get it.
Still up.
Oh.
They need a few more waves, but not if Yen has anything to say about it.
Yeah, he literally needs one more wave under the turret. He will delete it if he can get the sticky bomb on the turret. But that's why Neon's here, to make sure he doesn't.
And I'm liking what's happening here from Nova. No kills, but ahead in gold.
That's WRL!
That's a macro game for you.
Yeah! This is just a very clean demonstration of their strength and a very clear demonstration that they understand this matchup. Not even so much that Furious Gaming are like scary to them in fights, but that the only way Furious Gaming win this game is if they win really good fights.
So why accept the fight?
Why take fights? Nova Esports just playing passive, letting the game wash over them. What was it you were talking about yesterday? Being like water. Fitting the vessel they're contained in.
Yes, that is correct, TJ. I did in fact say when water is in a glass, it becomes the glass. Be
Right.
formless. Be like water, my friend. I definitely did not misquote that yesterday.
My point is, that's Nova Esports right now.
Absolutely. Facing off against a different opponent. Yeah, playstyle adapts as well.
Rift Herald summons in the middle of the map, it'll crash.
They have, of course, the Corki, well, not the Corki, but rather the Zig Satchel. Not necessary, but they still find a mid lane turret. Engage coming through here.
Wow.
Libra got a good fight for them last time around, but this time a much more difficult task to execute. Prussia starts to rush in, looking for the first kill. Gets isolated. Long starts to jump in as well. The exhaust starts to come in. Prevents damage out from Long.
And you see some danger there for Furious Gaming. Their entire composition is functional around that combo. Tidal Wave, Transcendent Embrace, Prussia jumps in, Echo jumps in. They try that there, don't find a kill. And if Nova had had the resources or the desire to re-engage, it would have been so dangerous for them. They're very lucky, Furious Gaming. Nova do not re-engage. But they're desperately taking swings now as the Gold League continues to grow, nearing 4,000 consistent.
And
Neon
Yen
taking another turret.
off in the side lane with the Howlbreaker Corki. Gets them a turret through the chaos. While Furious Gaming were committed to the mid fight. And the saddest part about that, TJ,
Okay.
was you said you were worried that Nova were going to re-engage against Furious Gaming in a 4 versus 5.
Yeah.
They were about to lose a 4
Well,
versus 5.
They didn't have the players, like I said. I think if they have 5 players, they 100% recommit. You know, 4v5, it's dangerous because Prussia still does have damage. But you absolutely see a window where all their spells are down.
Libra isolated and in danger.
Here's
Gets
Echo.
chased after by the Voidless Salt. Should have the damage to finish off the kill onto this set as they take down
Stasis!
Yami. A beautiful
Pressure's
job
here!
done. Facebreaker back
Pressure's
over on
here!
the Geezer, and Prussia gets a pop off, jump in, finish off the Renekton, then, but he picks up the honey fruit on the way, and still alive here. Prussia cannot chase after.
1-for-1 trade, still a good one for Furious Gaming because the gold goes on to Prussia. But Yize functioning as intended, soaking up all of that Tristana damage.
Dragging up in 3 seconds, and as long as not this one up, Furious Gaming over by the back end of the pit.
Furious can contest this, they need to contest this. Infernal is too powerful to give over for free.
Especially with the composition of Prussia's already brought down so low so quickly. Echo jumps into the pit, but still on the secures it with the chilling smite jumping in with the package, but you have the exhaust back over onto Nyen. It doesn't matter as Echo goes down. Nova continue with the chase, looking for the isolate, looking at the spikes. No leap, but he has the invisibility. No kills for Long just yet.
Capo Siba thought, hey, maybe I should heal Prussia just to, you know, be sure. And it turns out that saved his life. Furious Gaming make their way out of that fight with their carry intact, but barely.
Always heal your carries, man.
Furious Gaming running out of time here. I talked about third item. He's now got 2 crit items over there for Prussia. Waiting on the third, probably something like Rapid Fire Cannon or Static Shiv. And he's got to complete that whole item to really do damage.
Libra making a beeline in onto Nova Esports, but he's been isolated away from the rest of his team. But a double man, Aqua Prison and Transcendent Embrace pulling back Izu, but they don't have the damage to finish off the Renekton. Libra comes in to leap out from Long to finish off the top laner. Furious Gaming back away from the Rift Herald as it despawns. They know there's nothing to fight for, but they don't back away far enough. Prussia isolated and going down. The big one out from Yen. They pick up the kill.
Yan spending all of these fights hovering at max range, just on Varus duty almost. Poking and prodding and dropping the HP of these engaged players before they can properly engage.
It's New Age Corki, my man. TJ, it's New Age Corki. He's max range. He does it all.
What does New Age Corki sound like when they play it in the club?
It sounds like winning.
Good answer. Check out the range he's playing from this fight. Watch Nian poking here at Echo, kiting back, hovering at the side. Just this entire fight out of range of any retaliation, doing significant damage. And of course on the opposite side, Prussia, who is so much of the team's damage because he doesn't have a way in, the only person he can properly attack is the tankiest person on the enemy team. It's Yize who just takes those hits no problem at all.
I think it's worth mentioning, I mentioned earlier that the Rift Herald had despawned. That is not the case. It did actually get picked up by Nova Esports, and they managed to use it towards the Baron lane. So nice little pickup. And I want to tie this all back together, TJ.
Okay.
Nova Esports, they drafted 2 tanks.
True.
And the 2 tanks are too tanky now.
I like it. Nova Esports too tanky to be burned down by Tristana. That is going to be true until that third crit item is complete, at which point Tristana will blast through them. So I'm still hanging on to that as Furious Gaming, you know, still being dangerous in a team fight. They are so built around Pressure exclusively.
Absolutely.
But they haven't made any windows for Pressure.
Remake stepping far forward, pulls Libra's attention.
Wasted ult. Tidal Wave not up for this fight, and that should be the go signal for Nova. They can do whatever they want now that Tidal Wave is down. They know they can win a team fight easily.
Well, they decide that the Baron's more worthwhile, and so they start that one up, send Long and Easy to get that done. Meanwhile, the rest of Nova continue to shove out the mid wave. Libra positioning aggressively.
They see that Tidal Wave and they say, okay, well, Furious Gaming aren't going to be able to start a fight now.
You have no flash, Libra. They know your limits as they manage to get the knockback, pulling in the set as he gets taken down before he can get anything done.
Pressure does find some gold, but here's the punish.
Yummy! He just eliminates Kaposiba. Where did his health bar go?
Pressure's on the wrong side of the map.
Isolated alone, but still Remake's been pulled in. The Transcendent Embrace starts to come through. The exhaust over on the Pressure. He might have damage, but not against the 3 from Nova. Sato sent packing and running towards the base of Nova Esports.
Does he recall? No! Long hunts him down. And that should be the game. Nova find the Baron, find the lead. And as promised, Furious Gaming don't get their 5v5 team fight until it is too late.
Wave a little too thin though, so Nova Esports have effectively won, but not literally.
They'll take their time as they have all game, knowing that Furious Gaming just haven't been able to find a team fight into them. They've done such a good job of just retreating whenever the pressure is real, engaging whenever they know that cooldowns are spent, and Nova are out of position, or sorry, Furious Gaming are out of position. And Furious Gaming have never been able to set up a frontline engage for Pressure. If you're going to play a Tristana like this, you need to build space for him to access people like Remake, like Neon in these fights. And instead, he's always stuck at the very max range of the fight, auto-attacking Hize, auto-attacking Yami. And those are the two people who want to be auto-attacked. They like it.
Here's my thing, TJ. I look towards Pressure right now.
Okay.
And we look at I see a composition that was meant to enable him. But from Sauter and Kaposiba, they're building to keep themselves alive. Every man for himself right now. Everyone needs to hold their own against the onslaught from Nova Esports. You don't have time to worry about Pressure. It's so difficult to play for the Tristana here.
Yeah. I mean, so many of these fights we've seen Pressure be the forward-most player on the team. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that just the positioning seems to be undoing him. Because it doesn't matter if you need to die to enable him, you need to die to enable Pressure with this team composition.
Unfortunately for them, Libra has gone past the point of effectiveness. He had some strong moments to begin with, but now with Nova Esports scaling up to a powerful point, we see a dominant goal lead.
Here we go, a last stand for Furious Gaming. The WL got some words in here.
Absolutely well said. Final stand as Nova Esports try and chunk them out, escort the waves in.
I do love Remake just spending Mega for a bump on cooldown. Just every time he throws it in, gets some damage, sees what happens.
As he should.
Yeah. Keeps forcing Furious Gaming to reset, to lose a couple of waves, that sort of thing. Always worth it.
Quick recall out from Remake as the Baron comes up in half a minute.
Love this from Chinese teams. Why would you take like a risky team fight underneath the Nexus when the Baron is coming up?
I just keep hearing you say you love these teams.
I do. I legitimately, like, we were talking, I think they will be in the contention for winning this tournament.
So what do we see here from Nova? What have we managed to gather away from this, from Nova so far?
I think one of our big questions was the presence of Nian in this team. You know, he was a sub for Guoko, who is so good as like an assassin player. What does Nian add to this roster that they didn't have before? Does he fit in with the team? Yes, to all counts. And I think what he has really demonstrated here is this ability to play a more passive contribution style.
Right.
Let other people be the carries, let other people be the front lines and play this almost Korean poke game.
And they do it so well here as Libra continues to look for an engage here. Flash in from Easter, gets locked down over onto the set, but he gets a big shield as the exhaust comes in. He goes golden, buying some time with the Hourglass. The Transcendent Embrace pop out from Furious Gaming, looking for an entry over by the side angle. Angle with a big stun, but no follow-up from the rest of his team. Yami dashes in with the body slam, nearly takes out the Riven, but a flash away will keep him alive. Only the one falling from Furious Gaming.
Good kiting team fight from Furious Gaming. You can see their mechanics and communication on display, but you can also see that Nova gave them no opportunities. Yuzu played exactly to the limits of his HP bar and cooldowns, soaked up a maximum amount of damage. By stasising so aggressively, he created like a cordon. You could not go past the stasis Renekton because he would come out of the stopwatch and destroy you.
Furious Gaming walking back towards the Baron, but too late. Pick up and over to Nova Esports. This is going to be their second Baron.
Really? You're gonna steal his red buff?
Oh, absolutely.
You're winning by that much, Grandin, and you steal his Krugs.
Oh, absolutely.
His Krugs!
Psychic damage, DJ.
Let the man have a rock collection.
Psychic damage.
Those are
DJ.
geodes.
Well, he stole the red buff as well.
Yeah.
Psychic damage.
I don't know if I can condone that. I feel like... Is that allowed?
Echo will feel that. Prussia will feel that going to the next game.
Yeah.
And that's why Long is looking to be one of the best junglers in the competition.
He's capable of dunking
because
on
he
you.
stole red buff.
Stealing the red buff with this much of a lead, almost 25,000. And here comes Nova to try and wrap this game up. They have the Baron buff. Here we go. Furious, one more chance.
And still displaced heavily here by Yami. His explosive cast makes it difficult. They
Both
reset
inhibs
back
gone.
into base, but all inhibitors gone, like you've mentioned. Super minions crashing in. The package delivered and sent by Nyan as they move in onto the Nexus. A first pickup, a second, and the Nexus going down. Game number 1 to Nova Esports.
You know, we talked about it at the very beginning. We tried to be fair to Furious Gaming. They are playing versus one of the best teams in the world.
Absolutely.
And I think you can honestly say that was a really solid performance from Furious Gaming.
Right.
There's a lot to be happy with. You should be smiling on stage right now. That is the kind of game that you can go home. Yeah, you lost, but man, your team fights looked good. You understood your game plan. You played around the macro very well. It's just Nova. They're going to take every bit of gold from you. They're going to take your red buff with a 20k lead. They're going to do everything they can to stop you from being able to get the team fights. And if you want to try and turn this around game number 2, that's what Furious need to figure out.
Why we'd like to